Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it's 2 o'clock. I'm Ben Hayward with your Solent Sports News headlines. The most expensive transfer in British football history is in contention to make his Premier League debut tonight. Enzo Fernandez is looking to be involved with the Chelsea squad as they take on Fulham in the West London derby. The last time the two sides met, Fulham came out 2-1 winners. However, boss Marco Silva believes it will be a tougher challenge this time round.
Yes, of course, we'll be different in certain areas of the pitch with different profile of players as well. I think their idea will be there, even if you know that during the match, and they have the capacity to change systems and to do something different.
Be sure to tune in later at 4 p.m, where Solent Sports News reporter Dylan Shavas will be live at Stamford Bridge. Sticking with the Premier League, it's a tough weekend for those at the bottom end of the table. Fresh-faced Southampton travel to Brentford as they push for survival, whilst Bournemouth also make a trip along down the south coast as they take on Brighton at the Amex. Everton will be hoping to turn their hopes and their season around under new boss Sean Dyche, where they take on top of the table Arsenal. New recruit Jorginho could be thrown into the mix for the Gunners after a knock to defensive midfielder Thomas Partey. Marcus Rashford has been announced as the Premier League's Player of the Month for the second time this season. It comes after the England international continued his red-hot form, netting 3 times, including a winner in the Manchester derby in January. As well as being honoured by Premier League, Rashford's efforts have also been noticed by his club, and he's also been given the Player of the Month from the Red Devils. Meanwhile, Mikel Arteta has won consecutive Manager of the Month awards. The Gunners went unbeaten in the league in January and beat sides such as Manchester United and London rivals Tottenham on their way. United manager Erik ten Hag says his team won't be disrupted by the off-the-field issues at the club. Mason Greenwood had charges of attempted rape, controlling behaviour and assault against him dropped. United play Crystal Palace tomorrow in the Premier League just weeks after a 1-1 draw against the same team. Ten Hag insists his players aren't distracted.
We have always to focus on the game, no matter what, and that is our job. And that's why we are here. We have a lot to do against them. 2 weeks ago, we had a bad performance there.
Locally, top of the league Sholing faced mid-table Westbury United in the Southern League Division 1 South, 3 tiers below National League. While second place, but with 3 games in hand, Totton hosts Bristol Manor Farm. On Tuesday, the top 2 will meet in a potential promotion decider. We're joined by Totton reporter George Venn to provide us a build-up. So George, can you give us a preview for this weekend's clash?
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, AFC Tottenham coming into this one in fantastic form. They've been 11 games unbeaten in all competitions, facing a Bristol Manor Farm side sitting down in 16th place in the league. So you'd imagine the Stags would be able to make their way past them fairly simply. I'm sure their sights are going to be set on Tuesday's night's massive top-of-the-table clash. First against second, AFC Tottenham 11 games unbeaten, Sholing 12 games unbeaten. If AFC Tottenham can get 3 points, then they'll be sitting just 8 points behind league leaders with 3 games in hand, so they could effectively seal their place at the top of the table. Definitely, without wanting to use a cliche, a 6-pointer this one.
I was going to say absolutely, and do you really think this could be a title decider on the Tuesday? And plus the fact, do you think there's any star men that you should look out for?
Yeah, I mean, both sides have only lost 2 games all season, so you know it's really looking to be a massive game, and I think it's crucially Scott Rendell for AFC Tottenham can find some form. He's really one of Tottenham's star men. If he can find some form and bring some others into play as well as he usually does, as well as finding the back of the net, then I think he will really be then the star man, the star number 9 for AFC Tottenham.
Perfect. Cheers for joining us, George. On to darts now, and Michael van Gerwen was defeated in the final of the first night of the new Premier League season. Chris Dobey was victorious, keeping his rich vein of form in the last few weeks, winning the Masters on Sunday. The Premier League returns next Thursday in Cardiff. The Six Nations are also back. 6 weeks of international rugby between England, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, France and Italy. England have a new head coach involved in Steve Borthwick, and also have a new weapon in their ranks in London Irish winger Ollie Hassel-Collins. Borthwick says that the threat of Hassel-Collins is scary, and he's excited for his exposure to international rugby.
This is a guy who's over 100 kilos and 6'4", and he can hit and he can run fast. So I think most of us would like to have those attributes. He's an excellent player and a fantastic young man, and he's brilliant to be in our team.
England face Scotland at Twickenham in the Calcutta Cup, whilst Wales face Ireland in Cardiff, and France face Italy in Rome. Last year's Formula 1 winners Red Bull are set to reveal their new car today. The team led by Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez were dominant last season by beating closest rivals Ferrari in both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. The season kicks off on the 5th of March in Bahrain. Australian tennis star Nick Kyrgios admitted to assaulting his ex-girlfriend. The 27-year-old was accused of pushing former partner Chiara Passari, who stopped him from driving away in 2021. Kyrgios released a statement earlier today saying, "I was not in a good place when this happened and I reacted to a difficult situation in a way I deeply regret." That's all from us for now. I'll be back in about an hour's time, but remember, you can keep up to date on our website, solentjournalism.co.uk.